Hi, team. Welcome to 10 Talks. Today's conversation is all about transitioning into next and rewiring our brain, retraining our brain, right? All these new things that we've got to come up with. And we have the honor and gift of Rai being able to join us, as she is a professional volleyball player who retired from the national team in Puerto Rico, still playing pro ball, but just retired from the national team. So this is our chance to go on the journey with Rai as she transitions from the national team into actually becoming a sports life coach and coming to work for our team. So a bit of a combination there. Rai, thank you so much for sharing just your journey with us.
Thank you for the opportunity, Carlette. This has been a huge help in the process.
Well, I think we're on week 3. Is that correct?
Yes, week 3.
So let's talk about with week 3, some of the emotions that are coming up, some of the film that's showing up. Like, it's just such a journey is the perfect word for it, because and roller coaster, I think we could add, because it's a journey on a roller coaster in terms of feeling amazing and then dipping and what the heck did I do? What was I thinking? And, and oh my gosh, I love this. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, I mean, just so many floods and floods of emotion. So give us a glimpse into your emotional journey and roller coaster for the last week.
It's been very interesting. Just like, I think I found myself comparing a lot, and at some point I was grateful that I'm still in my pro volleyball career. I'm just in the off season right now, but I think it would have been completely different, and I will not have the chance to honor my process of retiring from a national team. That was something really big in my life that I did for 17 years. And so being in the transition of like not having practice off season right now and the retirement, the first week was like, yeah, I make the commitment, I put it out there, this is happening, that's perfect. Second week was like, it's okay, it's part of the process. I'm transitioning, learning from sports life coach, getting my things done. And then third week is like, what am I doing? It's like a complete roller coaster is the best way to put it, Carlette. But it hasn't changed my mentality that I'm still in peace with my decision. Like, that is, something that I was hoping it will stay like that. Like, I did not want it to be like, oh, what did I do? Like, I haven't had that thought. It's just the transitioning into next and the process, all the headaches. I feel so tired, and I feel like I don't have time for my 24 golden nuggets.
Or at least to make your 24 golden nuggets 10s.
Yes, I feel like I don't have time, and I have all the time in the world.
So, Rai, what is so intentional about this time is that you're grieving the loss. Remember, in sports life coaching, we're very respectful of that. Anytime there's a loss, the grief is the healing of it. So in sports, we can have 2 losses a week if we lose both games a week, or so we truly are on this high, low, high, low, high, low. And it's all about performance. We really don't have any control over it. We could play a great game and our team still lose, which is a loss because we're the power of team. So I just want to recognize the grief that you're going through so that you can honor it and you can be like, this is something I did for 17 years, the national team. And as peaceful as you were about knowing it was time to move on to next, it doesn't mean that you don't grieve.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that it isn't a loss, because it's definitely an end of season. And we want to end seasons fabulous and be intentional about it. And yet there's still a loss to it.
Yes. I feel like you mentioning that and honoring the process, it takes weight out of the shoulder. Like, it gives me the space to feel the emotions that I'm supposed to feel instead of blocking them.
Mm-hmm. And when you talk about headaches, physical responses, and the exhaustion, that's all grief, because grief is running in the background of our energy management. So if you think about your phone, and if you have a whole bunch of apps open, how it just drains your battery. Well, with that visual in our life, whenever we're grieving, it means that the app of grief is open. And so our energy is being drained while we're living our life and going ahead and doing everything that we're doing. So you have to be very gentle and focus very much on your well-being and honoring, okay, what do I need? I'm tired. I need rest. Great. Rest and recover. That's what the new season is about. When you're in season, you can't always honor that because you may be competing or you may have practice. This is the gift of really honoring a next season and getting plugged in and in tune with your body, because so many times when we're in season, we have to disconnect to perform and to push through and to do what the team needs. And then when you're transitioning into next or in off season, it's all about plugging back into you. And it's almost like it short circuits your whole body. That's why you have headaches and all this stuff is happening. It's like, whoa, we've been unplugged for so long and you just plugged us in and we're short circuiting.
Yeah, literally, that's exactly how I feel.
So isn't it nice to know that that is a normal feeling? And actually, it means that you are honoring the process when you really recognize, wow, my body did a lot for me. It's my turn to do a lot for my body, for my heart, for my mind, for my spirit. I mean, what a gift to really honor you and what you've gone through and what you've committed to and done.
Yes. And I think, Carlette, like we're so competitive that when you're in season and you have games, like you don't think about those things, you know? It's like all you ask your body is like push, push, push. And even if you're injured, no, I'm not injured. I can do this. I can do more. I can, and now that it's finally off season, that is something that we look forward to as athletes, and when the time comes, it's kind of like stressful, and I don't know, I just feel lost. Like I don't know when I'm supposed to rest and recover. Like I'm figuring all those things, and it's okay to rest and recover. Sometimes, like when I'm done doing a task that is like, okay, like I am done for the day, I completed what I need to complete it, I even feel bad, like, oh, am I supposed to be done or should I do more? Because that's what I was used to in practice. We were done. No, I do extra reps.
Right.
That's my competitive self. And now it's like, yes, it's okay to rest and recover. You're done. But I think all those headaches come from like, I want to keep pushing myself and push myself and push myself. I can do more. I can do more. I can do more. And I need to understand that I can do also more of resting and recovery.
Yeah, you can do more for you in your off season in alignment with how much you do for others in your season.
Yes.
I mean, what a great combination to be like the off season is for your well-being and for you to be extra reps for you. And then in season, it's extra reps for the team. And it's the well-being of the team, which really comes together in such a beautiful way. That's why we have the off season, is to recover and to show up in season at 10.
Yes. And to focus more on ourselves and to give our body what it needs. And I feel like this past 3 weeks, I've been really anchored in listening to my body, understand how I'm feeling, why I'm feeling that way, why are the headaches are around every day, why I'm feeling so tired. And I'm getting my hours of sleep. Like I am very, I'm going to bed early, I'm waking up early. And even though when I wake up, I'm like, a train just ran over me.
Yeah, we used to say in that moment when you wake up, did you get the license plate of that truck that just hit me?
Yes, that's exactly how it feels.
Which means more rest and recovery. And rest and recovery doesn't necessarily mean laying around. So let's talk about how to really win our rest and recovery with that competitive spirit that you have, because we don't change just because we go from season to off season. doesn't mean we turn a switch off on us that we're not competitive anymore. We bring our competitive spirit with us everywhere we go. And this is really the biggest performance barrier that a lot of people have, is hearing the word rest and recovery feels like I need to be quiet, I need to be still. And it's actually the opposite. You want to match your competitive metabolism. So in season, you're at your highest level, you are performing and it's all in alignment. Now let's take that same competitive metabolism and align it with being for you and your well-being. So you have to be as competitively for you and your well-being, which most people are like, where's my coach? Where's my training? Where's my schedule? I mean, if we're going to transfer them like that, then let's transfer it that exact way. And you do need a life coach. You do need a coach in your life to coach you up to be as great off the court or the field as you are in sport. And so let's break that down in terms of winning strategies that worked on the court or in sport, and winning strategies that work for life. Number one, it's full engagement. So that's how you know you're winning your rest and recovery, if you're fully engaged. The minute you can think about something else, you just missed that point. So, the same way as sport, because if you miss a point, then that's what you did. You missed a point if your mind wanders or you're not fully engaged. So number one, it's full engagement. And you being able to really recognize, okay, I'm fully engaged. And the minute your mind wanders, you know that your attention span isn't there anymore. So you have to find things that are as engaging as what sport is. So usually you've got to pick up another sport. You got to start playing pickleball, or you got to start doing something completely different just so you get to have that metabolism. So, Rye, what do you have that fully engages you in your personal life?
I think my training, my off-season training, it's a completely different setup from when I'm in season. And right now, thankfully, I started already last week on that because I needed to burn, that energy out.
Yeah.
And things that we're working on is even completely different from what I worked last year when I found myself in the same off season. So it was interesting that I'm still in off season comparing from last year to this year. But last year I had like a weird relationship with my off season and volleyball. I'm tired of volleyball. I'm taking 3 months off of not doing anything. But this year it's like, I'm in off season. I need to honor my body and let it burn some energy. And the exercises that we're doing is completely different from off season, but from in season, sorry. But I feel like so empowered when I finish. So yeah, that is my winning strategy.
So notice that it actually, you need that physical release, because of course that's been a winning strategy during season. Why would we not do it in the off season? The difference is our mindset is that we're choosing it, rather than sometime in sport, we can feel like it's just part of what we do. So yes, that's the gift, right? Is that you're empowered to completely design your off season to be nothing but 10s. And that's back to our stats. So team stats are on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is low and 10 is fabulous. So every time you invest your time, your energy, or your emotions, you ask yourself, what's my stat on that? So for instance, Rye, let's stat up your day. Take me through what your typical new day is.
Wake up, alarm goes off 7:30 in the morning. And that is typically like a 3, and I hit the snooze a couple times. But only for 30 minutes. Like first alarm, 7:30. Wake up at 8. I prepare coffee or breakfast for me and my husband. Like that's our little 5 minutes together before he goes to work. And then he spent all his day at work and practice, and I'll see him at night. So that's like our 5 minutes together. Then after he leaves,
what's your stat on that?
Oh, that is a 10.
Absolutely.
Yes, that is a 10. Then I get ready and start driving to Maya West, which is like 40 minutes from my house. So I meet my Fernand, he's my trainer, and I spend like an hour to hour and a half basically with him, and that is a 10.
Yeah.
Then I come home and I get my lunch. If I don't cook, I go to a little restaurant here in my hometown from a very cute lady, and I don't know, she's so welcoming and her food is so good. So I like to visit her sometimes, and that's also a 10. And then I'll start in my new transition into sports life coach.
And so
And that is a huge 10.
what's that?
That is a huge 10.
Oh, well, that's a gift. And so
Yeah.
what time do you do the sports life coaching, from like 1 to what?
I'll say from 1 until 6 usually.
Mm-hmm.
And then that gives me time. If Jesse has game, I can go with him to his game, make it in time. So from 1 to 6 usually is when I'm focused on sports life coach.
So then when you finish at 6, then what?
Then it depends. If Jesse has a game, I'll go to his game. And that is the 10 for me, just be able to be in his game and support him. If he is not, then I'll either spend time here at home by myself, just with my dogs, relaxing, getting the energy out, or I go visit my family, my mom, my sister, and my dad. So.
And what's your stat on that?
And all 10s.
Yep. And then what time do you go to bed?
Usually by 10, I'm already in bed.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I always wait until Jesse comes home. I cannot fall asleep completely until he's home. And as soon as he comes home, like, I am completely asleep.
So team, there's an example of learning how to stat up your day, is every single component of it. Notice we didn't go into all the tasks. It wasn't like, what are you doing during your sports life coaching work from 1 to 6? It's more overall, what is your stat on how you're investing your time? Now, what's important is we have to have some cardio in life, the same way we have cardio in sport. So cardio in life is something that's a low stat, but it gets you to a 10. So, Rye, for instance, waking up in the morning with that alarm, it feels like that's your cardio because it's a low stat. Yeah. But as soon as you get up, you get to have that fabulous time with your husband. Yes. So, team, that would be an example of how you use something that is a low stat. You don't try to change it and make it a high stat. You recognize it's a low stat. And so when the alarm goes off, instead of being like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, you say to yourself, when I get up, I get to see Jesse, or I get to spend time with my husband. Now you've actually put your brain in that forward focus of what it wants versus how much it wants to stay in bed. So that's an example of cardio. And you want some cardio in the morning and some cardio in the afternoon. Probably there's some cardio inside sports life coaching. There will be some aspects that aren't a 10, but that working in sports life coaching is a 10. So it gives you that ability to really recognize, I'm going to have cardio. Everything's not going to be this perfect 10 that I love doing. I'm going to honor that there's going to be some things I don't love, yet they get me to my 10. The key is we can't have a whole day of cardio. Just like an athlete can't have a whole day of cardio because we burn out and we flatline and, there's no joy in it. So team, practice that. That's one gift that Rye's giving you, is that ability to really design your day, to create your day. You do it by picking something and statting it up. When you're in transition, you don't always know what's going to be a 10. And that's why the tool is so valuable, is that you get to go try everything and then stat it up and get this collection of 10s. And then that becomes ideally the way you want to live. Rye, any winning strategies you want to share?
I think, ever since I learned that tool, I keep thinking about what's the 10 for me. And I'm a very emotional person, and Like I always feel like I need to have my energy high. So just protecting my energy and giving love to myself and my body and honoring my process has been a nice winning strategy throughout this process, because sometimes I feel like I'm going through things that I don't understand because I haven't done this. But yes, just being patient, keep thinking about what is the 10 for me to keep my energy high and to keep me going.
So, Rai, you mentioned earlier as we were watching your film on really how you're feeling, and you mentioned the word lost. And so I want to talk about that lost feeling because it happens so much in transition. And the way we can look at it is when you're in season, you are on mission and so purposeful. You know exactly what your purpose is. You know exactly why you're going to practice. You know exactly why you're choosing to be disciplined. You know exactly why. Purpose is why. So you know exactly why. And the why is very, very connected to your mission. You're here to play on a team. You're here to win a championship. So they're all in alignment. You're making choices and you know your why, and it's connected to something bigger than yourself. So the energy, even though it can be exhausting and it can be challenging, and there's all these not so fabulous moments inside of it, it's so anchored in mission and purpose. So then we transition into next, and it's kind of a gaping hole. It's like, where's the mission? And where's the purpose? And where's the power of team? And where's going to practice and getting that energy exchange of being with people and the team touches? And I mean, there's so much connectivity that happens working inside a team environment, just the team touches alone, compared to being isolated and on a computer and just doing tasks. So I really want to give you that new thinking of like, things really are different. Physiologically, they're different, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Where's my purpose, which is my why? And how does it connect to my mission, which is something bigger than myself? So what shows up for you when I share that just journey of understanding with you?
It's so true. It's when you're on a team, even your schedule is given to you. And that has been like a big switch for me. Um, and I knew how to manage my day because I knew when to rest and recover. I knew when I needed to go to practice. I knew when I needed to go to weights and why I was doing it. And now, it was something more for the team. I was in it for the team. Now it's in it for me and to give hope to others. And I'm still in the process of finding myself, not losing that competitive energy, but also not stressing out from my competitive energy. And I still can be competitive in a different environment. It's just, understanding that things are completely different right now. but I can still be competitive in a different way, sorry. And I can still give my 100% on the task that I'm learning. And sometimes that I struggle a lot is like when I'm in the learning process or when I'm about to start, like I think way ahead of things that I need to do, but I still don't know the process of them, and that is something that it just gets my energy everywhere. It's like, what I need to do, what am I supposed to do? But it's okay. Just take it one step at a time. Once I learn it, I'll be able to get running. So it's just, yeah, that's part of like my learning process and seeing it that way. Like I'm in season with the team, you're always running. Right now I'm like slowly walking and I want to run, but I still need to walk a little bit more, and honoring that process is the best way I can put it so I can understand it myself.
Well, and Rai, I'm going to give you the new me Q skill, which that's one of ours in terms of the intelligence of me Q, really learning to understand who am I, what's important to me. So we've talked about rest and recovery, you really understanding what works for you to honor your competitive spirit. We've talked about purpose and being on mission, the power of team, all this transition work, everything that's happening. From a MeQ perspective, what's really interesting is compassion. Because when you're a pro at what you do, business, sport, life, you've been doing it, you can somewhat forget what it feels like to feel like a rookie. And just that frustration of wanting to be the pro again. And, I think about so many volleyball players that are amazing in high school, and then we get them in college and they're a rookie. And they're so frustrated because they want to be that superstar that they were in high school. And they want to be that for the team because the coach recruited them because they were great. And they feel this pressure of like, I need to be that superstar that I was in high school. And all we can say to them is trust the process. It's going to happen. And the first year is so frustrating. Every part of it is like, I just want to feel like that superstar again. I just want to feel like that superstar. And we're chasing the feeling of superstar or mastery, if we want to call it from a pro perspective. We want to have the new thinking to chase the process of learning so that it really gives you the ability to understand, okay, I'm going to be a rookie at lots of things in my life. And now I'm going to find value and understand the purpose of being a rookie is to learn the steps to mastery. And so here we are back at that compassion point, compassion for myself, compassion to give hope to others, because I authentically can relate to what it feels like to be a pro and a superstar. And then in 10 seconds, back to being a rookie. I mean, wow, it's a lot. There's that roller coaster ride again. What are your thoughts?
My task right now, Carla, is like, I'm thankful we're doing this because there's a lot of people that they're going through this process alone, or there's people that will start this process soon. And just to think that we can give some hope to them inside of what they will be expecting. I just feel grateful right now and thankful that you pushed me to do this, because I do not want it. At first, I'm like, maybe we can have a money. You're like, no, let's just do it from the get-go because it will be great. And right now, yeah, you mentioned the word compassion, and I say yes. Like I'm very visual, so I visualize myself giving myself a hug and also saying thank you and thankful for this, and whoever is going through their process. I don't know, I just feel like I want to hug them and tell them that they're not alone, and that, yeah, it's still a learning experience.
And that we are for you. I mean, what a gift to have, even if we're a virtual support team. We are for you. We have been on the journey, and our desired outcome is to give hope to those that aren't necessarily on our teams, or someone that we're able to connect with. And so that is our desired outcome. This is our philanthropy. It's our way to give hope and to be champion givers. And we're giving our experience and our emotions and our story and just our sports life coaching tools. So, Rai, thank you so much for letting us be inside the messiness and inside the real and have these real conversations about just the joy and the frustration and the roller coaster ride that change brings.
Yes, and thank you so much for being my guide and just for being here for me.
It's an honor. So team, it's up to you. Go out and practice rest and recovery. Stat up on a scale of 1 to 10. We start over on that. Okay, team, it's up to you. It's up to you to go out and win your week and practice, practice, practice. So let's start with stats. That is you actually statting up on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is low, 10 is fabulous. There's a little cardio in there. That's something that's a low stat that gets you to a high stat. And so you want to stat up everything that you're doing to invest your time, your energy, and your emotions. And ideally, we want your whole day to be in that 8, 9, or 10 zone with some cardio in the morning and some cardio at night. So that's our first me Q skill. Remember, me Q is the intelligence of me. So we're learning all about you. Then we're going to go into rest and recovery, and you're going to honor your competitive metabolism and understand that even when you're in off season or even when you're resting and recovering, you want to be in alignment with that competitive spirit that you have. So compete for you and for your well-being, and find something that gets you fully engaged. And that's a 10 for you for your rest and recovery. And then we're going to move into that compassion component of really understanding the season you're in, the process you're on, and giving yourself compassion and compassion for others to go from pro to rookie, and that exchange of just that constant learning. So go out and win your week, team. You got lots to practice. That's the gift that Rai is giving us on this journey of transition. Thank you. And thank you, Rai.
Thank you. We'll practice together.
Yes, the power of team.